August 18th, 1967 at Los Angeles, California, a private training hall hidden behind an unmarked door on a quiet street, far from studios, far from crowds, far from cameras. The clock on the wall reads 9:42 p.m. The city outside is loud, restless, alive. Inside this room, everything is restrained. The air is still. The floor smells faintly of old wood and sweat absorbed over years of training. A single overhead light hums softly, not bright enough to dominate, not dim enough to hide anything. This is not a place where events are supposed to happen. It is where preparation happens, where discipline lives, where nothing dramatic is meant to occur. And yet something does. Bruce Lee stands near the center of the room, barefoot, wearing simple training clothes. No uniform, no insignia, nothing to announce who he is to anyone who does not already know. His posture is relaxed, almost careless to an untrained eye. His arms hang naturally. His breathing is slow, quiet, measured. Across from him is a man who does not belong here. The man is tall, broad, heavy in the way that comes from confidence reinforced by size. His shoulders stretch the fabric of his jacket. His hands are thick, scarred, the kind that have closed into fists more times than they have opened in peace. He carries himself forward, chest first, as if gravity itself favors him. He's been told who Bruce Lee is. He has heard the name, seen the movies, heard the stories. But stories are light things. Bodies are real. He believes this will be quick. This man represents something old and familiar. Physical dominance. The assumption that mass decides outcomes. That intimidation is a language everyone understands. That confrontation must end with contact. Bruce Lee represents something harder to describe, something without obvious shape, a method that does not announce itself, an approach that avoids spectacle, an idea that refuses to be impressed by size. The situation itself should not exist. There is no referee, no audience, no agreement written down, no rules explained aloud, only a shared understanding that something has escalated beyond words and now needs to resolve itself. The larger man takes a step forward. The wooden floor creaks beneath his weight. The sound feels loud in the silence. Bruce does not step back. He does not step forward either. He adjusts his stance by a fraction, barely visible. A shift of inches. A change in angle that looks accidental, but is not. His head tilts slightly, as if listening to something only he can hear. The man smirks. "You gonna do something?" he asks. Bruce does not answer. Silence stretches. Not the comfortable kind. The kind that sharpens attention. The kind that forces awareness inward. The larger man exhales sharply through his nose. His breathing is heavy, already accelerated. Adrenaline is beginning to rise. He rolls his shoulders, loosens his neck. His body prepares for impact because that is what bodies like his are trained to expect. Bruce's breathing remains unchanged. This is where most confrontations ignite. A word, a shove, a sudden movement, something to break the tension and release it into violence. Instead, Bruce shifts again, not away, around. He takes half a step, not retreating, but repositioning, changing the geometry of the space. The distance between them remains similar, but the alignment is different now. The man has to turn slightly to face him again. It is subtle, almost insulting in its lack of drama. The man's brow tightens. He steps forward again, faster this time, testing range. His foot lands where Bruce was just standing. Bruce is no longer there. Not because he ran, because he adjusted. The room feels smaller now. The walls closer. The light harsher. Bruce raises one hand, palm open, not in a guard, not in a strike, but as if measuring air. His fingers remain relaxed. His wrist loose. The larger man hesitates for half a second. He does not know why. His body senses something his mind has not yet processed. The distance feels wrong. The timing unfamiliar. His balance slightly off, though he has not been touched. Bruce inhales slowly through his nose. The sound is almost inaudible, but in the quiet room it lands with weight. The man lunges. Not wildly, not clumsily. He is used to using his size efficiently. His intention is simple: close the distance, impose weight, and uncertainty. Bruce does not strike. He shifts his lead foot, turning his hips just enough to redirect the line of approach. He angles his body so that the man is no longer moving toward a center, but past a point that no longer exists. The man's forward momentum carries him slightly off balance. Not enough to fall, enough to notice. Bruce exhales. The sound is controlled, deliberate. The larger man recovers quickly, turning to face him again, irritation now creeping into his expression. His jaw tightens. His shoulders rise. He expected resistance. He did not expect absence. Bruce changes his breathing rhythm. The inhale shortens. The exhale lengthens. His chest barely moves. His body appears lighter, less anchored, as if it belongs to the air more than the floor. He steps again, not back, not forward, but diagonally, narrowing the space without closing it. The man adjusts instinctively, squaring up. Another pause. Sweat begins to form along the man's hairline. His breath is louder now, his heart rate rising. Nothing has happened, and yet something is happening. Bruce's eyes remain soft, unfocused in a way that sees everything. He is not staring at the man's face. He is reading movement, weight distribution, tension traveling through muscle. The man takes another step, slower now, more cautious. Bruce mirrors him, not symmetrically, but functionally, always just enough out of alignment to prevent clean contact. The space between them becomes unstable. Every time the man thinks he has distance, it shifts. Every time he commits weight, it becomes a liability instead of an advantage. Bruce has not raised his voice, has not clenched his fists, has not made a single aggressive motion. And yet, the confrontation is escalating inside the larger man's body. His breathing becomes uneven. Short bursts in, forceful pushes out. His shoulders stay tense. His hands flex unconsciously. He circles. Bruce turns with him, not tracking, but leading, guiding the motion as if choreographing without permission. The room feels different now. Charged. Focused. Time stretches. The man suddenly stops moving. He stands still, chest heaving slightly. His eyes narrow. He is trying to reset, to regain control. Bruce stops as well. They face each other again, separated by a distance that feels larger than it is. Bruce speaks for the first time. "Breathe," he says, quietly, not as a command, as an observation. The man scoffs, but the sound is weaker than before. Bruce shifts his weight forward just enough to be felt. Not threatening. Present. The man's body reacts before his mind does. He steps back half an inch. Bruce does not follow. The larger man realizes it. He has yielded space. That realization lands heavier than any strike could. His breathing falters. His posture changes. His shoulders drop slightly, no longer squared for attack but for protection. Bruce remains exactly where he is. The silence returns, thicker now. The man swallows. His mouth is dry. His palms damp. Nothing has happened. And yet, everything has changed. Bruce adjusts his angle one final time, placing himself not in front of the man, but just off his center line. The positioning is precise, calm, inevitable. The man feels exposed. He does not know how to engage without overcommitting. He does not know how to withdraw without admitting defeat. His confidence, once reinforced by size and experience, has nowhere to anchor itself. Bruce exhales again. Slow, controlled. The man's shoulders sag. He looks away for a moment, breaking eye contact. When he looks back, something is gone. The aggression has drained, replaced by confusion, then by a reluctant clarity. He shakes his head once. "That's enough," he mutters. He steps back. Then another step. Bruce does not move. The confrontation dissolves. No strikes thrown. No contact made. No victor declared aloud. The man turns and walks toward the door, his steps slower now, heavier, as if carrying something invisible. Before leaving, he pauses. He does not turn around. "I don't know what that was," he says. Bruce says nothing. The door closes softly. The room returns to stillness. Bruce remains where he is for a moment longer, breathing evenly, as if nothing unusual occurred. Then he relaxes completely, the tension leaving his body like a tide receding. What happened in that room cannot be easily explained. No force was exchanged, no pain inflicted, no technique displayed in a way that could be replicated by imitation alone. And yet, the outcome is undeniable. A fight ended without being fought. The paradox lingers. How does someone win without attacking? The answer is not mechanical, not technical. It does not live in steps or sequences. It lives in understanding. Understanding distance before it becomes danger. Understanding timing before it becomes reaction. Understanding that control does not require domination, and power does not always announce itself through impact. The larger man entered that room believing confrontation meant collision. Bruce Lee understood that confrontation can also mean dissolution. When balance is taken before force is applied. When intent is redirected before it hardens. When presence itself becomes pressure. The world prefers visible outcomes. Knockdowns, clear victories, measurable results. This moment offered none of that, which is why it remains unrecorded, unverified, dismissed by some as exaggeration, by others as myth. But those who understand subtlety know this truth. Not every battle ends with contact. Not every victory leaves a mark. And sometimes, the most decisive outcome is the one that leaves no evidence behind, except the memory of standing across from something you could not touch, could not overpower, and could not force to meet you where you wanted to fight. The question remains, would this work today? Or does it only work on those who still believe strength begins with striking? That answer is left deliberately unresolved. So let me ask you this. Do you believe a fight can be won without a single strike? Or is this just a myth built around Bruce Lee? Tell me your answer in the comments. I read every one of them.